What's his name? Come on.
All right, we're on.
What it do,
We
baby?
are on. I'm on my spiritual shit. I was listening to some Mike Tyson and Nelk Boys this morning. I was getting real spiritual and deep, so I'm ready for this one.
What do you mean Milk Boys? Milk Boys aren't spiritual. They're fucking bunch of party animals that smoke cocaine.
When they're sitting there smoking weed and talking about fucking spirits with Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson will bring spirits out of anyone.
And doing fucking mushrooms. Why not? Mother, she'll burn some.
Get the sage out. Let's start it right.
Let's get the sage out. Talk to me, Nabil.
All right, let's start early. Where'd you grow up?
All right. So I grew up in Sydney. No, I wouldn't say West Sydney. I grew up in Cronulla, the Shire, St. Susie. I would hang out a lot with my cousins in the West and stuff like that. So that's why I sound like a little bit of a Westie. People feel like I've got the Lebo accent. I grew up there, normal childhood, good childhood, couldn't complain. Typical kid.
For people that don't know, you're a manager director of the family business. Talk to us about the family business.
So, I mean, you want to explain to him? You're a regular customer.
I am regular. This guy, if you don't follow him already, you got to. The best content ever. So the family business is an adult store, adult boutique, as you like to call it.
There we go. Oh,
such a typical adult store based around sex education, life advice, not just selling. So, am I right? You were introduced to the business at 18?
Yep.
The family business?
Introduced, my family's been in the adult industry for 20 plus years combined. By adult industry, I'm not talking OnlyFans or porn. I'm talking about the actual the retail side of it, in the sense of that, we sell adult products, vibrators, butt plugs, health products, prostate. We have clients that are hospitals, like anything related to sexual products, we sell. Yeah. They've been in the space for, like I said, 20 plus years, 30 plus years. And I came into the space when I was 18 years old. I didn't really want to go into the space, to be completely honest with you. It was more of a temporary thing.
Helping out the family.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to make some money, man. I used to work at Bay Vista when it first opened in Brighton. When it first opened, like literally the first week it opened, I think it opened on the Monday. I started work on the Friday or the Friday after that.
Was it crazy when it first opened, or did it take a while?
Yeah, man. Like the numbers you would do. And to be honest with you, look, I learned so many lessons from there. I was there for 3 years. From I think I was like 14 or just turned 15. No, I was about 14. We'll
get to the rest of what you're doing, but you've been in customer service since the beginning.
All my life.
Yeah.
I've been working since 12 years old. All my life. I'm very lucky to have a good work ethic like that. I can't not work. I get sick if I don't work. Last 4 months I've been sick because I need to work.
Yeah.
I'm a worker.
They keep busy.
Keep productive, man. Like you only got like a certain amount of time in life. I don't know if my number's up today, tomorrow, in 80 years, 20 years. So like you don't know. You don't want to you watch so many stories and you hear so many YouTube content and all that. Like, don't get to the end of your life and wish you did this. And to be honest with you, you'll see that sort of attitude embodied in how I speak and how I carry myself. The reason why I'm so open about what I do and talk about it is because I'm happy to have uncomfortable conversations with people, because I don't want to get to the end of my life and be like, what if? And like we were talking about off air. Yeah. What do you have to lose? Yeah. I mean, obviously, if you're not hurting anyone, I'm not out here selling crack. Yeah. So I'm not risking my life for a jail sentence. But in the sense that, what do you have to lose? Well, you have such limited time on this earth. Not limited, life's long. Don't get me wrong, life's long. But why would I waste it, procrastinating? And I procrastinate, but why would you waste it procrastinating and not trying to exert yourself towards a good cause?
I was talking to my partner, actually, I think yesterday, and we were talking about how normal it is, like, for people to just go about life day to day and not do the things they love, and not ever have that shift in their mindset to chase the thing that they love. Like it's just so normal to just go day to day, paycheck to paycheck.
People are scared of failure, man. And
Yeah.
you know what? Don't get me wrong, I was one of them as well.
Yeah.
I was one of them. And everyone goes through self-doubt. Everyone goes through self-doubt. Everyone goes like, what if I'm judged? Everyone's like, think. But like you come to a realization that you can't unless you're unless you're like a TMZ or something, you can't pay your bills with the opinions of others.
Yeah.
You know? And generally the majority of the time, the people who are judging you are the people that are doing less in life than you. Or they want to be in your position, or they want to have an element of like they want to be an element of you that they're not comfortable being with themselves. What
was that thing you said last time about people sitting in the stands? Would you rather be in the stands or the arena?
Oh yeah, I'd rather be in the arena any day of the week. Look, people, you know, majority of people, you got two elements of it. You got consumers, you got creators. You got people who sit in the stands and like criticize the person in the arena. Like, you know, you go on social media these days and everyone's, for example, if I was Anthony Joshua, I would have put more pressure and I would have done this. But these people have never been in a boxing gym in their life.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, they don't have any experience. They don't, the fuck have you done?
Yeah.
You know, like to get in front of 80,000 people, people can't even get up in front of 20 people for public speaking. And then you're going on Facebook and saying, see, I will do this, I'll do that. This bloke's in front of 80,000 people physically. That's not including the millions that are watching, you know? So it's always the people in the arena that get judged, and, you know, they're more likely to lose because they're risking more, but the rewards of winning, you know, everyone loves Conor McGregor, but everyone hates Conor McGregor.
Even when they lose, if you think about it realistically, they're still winning. They're still getting paid. They're still growing. 100%. They're still taking lessons.
I think it's how you handle loss too. It's how you conduct yourself when you lose as well. Wilder doesn't know how to conduct himself when he loses. Anthony Joshua knows how to conduct himself properly when he loses. You know, and that's where it goes. There's one of my favorite sayings of all time. I said it to a customer last night. It's The Man in the Arena by what's his name? I'm just going blank. Not Jefferson. It'll come to me. It's a poem. It's called The Man in. It's called The Man in Theodore Roosevelt. Theodore Roosevelt.
The Man in the Arena.
The Man in the Arena. It's one of my favorites. I had it on my wall for a long period of time, because essentially what it talks about is, you know, it's not the ones in the stands. It's the man in the arena with blood all over his face, smeared all over his face, you know, willing to die for a worthy cause, and leaving every bit of juice and energy that he's got left on the battlefield, in the arena. They're the ones who die gallantly, not the ones who sit in the stands and judge and criticize.
Yeah.
And we've all been there. Like we've all been. I don't care what anyone says. I've been there. Everyone's been there. In the sense where we've all judged someone. You know, but then once you realize, once you start playing and you're in the field, you rather, even if you lose, you'd rather be in the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But once you get there, like, and even with self-doubt and stuff, we were talking about it off camera, you know, once you finally get your foot in the game, like, I was always scared to go into a boxing gym. I don't know why. I don't know why. I never wanted. I always wanted to go. Always wanted to go learn to box, but I was like, I just didn't want to go into a boxing gym. And as I got older and older and older, I was like, what the, like I don't know why I was paranoid.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, fuck, man. Like, what happens if I get dropped? What happens if this? What happens that? Because when you're young, you're impressionable.
You feel like there's just going to be all these professional boxers in there looking down.
Yeah, bro. You feel like, bro, you're going to walk in, you're going to fucking throw one little punch like that. Everyone's going to laugh at you, but it's not like that.
No.
Anyway, and then the head guard at Compass, when I used to run Compass, he said to me, he's like, you got a fucking smart ass mouth on you. You got to learn how to fight. And then he took me to his head coach, or his coach, who's actually Paul Gallen's coach.
Wow.
So, and I've been with him for 3 years, and I'll never look back. And when I have kids, my kids are going straight to a boxing club. But once I got there, and once I did my first session, second session, third session, fourth session, I look back and I'm like, I'm never going to ever lag on doing something that I want. Because once I got there, I'm like, fuck, I should have done this sooner.
we're gonna get deeper on mindset a bit later, but so you can throw hands, huh? For people that don't know, AJ was on,
No, bro. I'm a lover. I'm a lover, not a
he was
fighter.
on TikTok Live, the vigilante yesterday, sticking up for a Macca's worker that had some
Yeah.
bloke calling her a bitch.
Nah,
So,
not on my watch, bro. Not on my watch.
You mentioned Compass. So you went to Compass when you were about 20, right? You were helping out a friend and you just started working there, promoting.
So a lot of people know who Low Key is.
Mhm.
If you don't know who it is, if you know who Young and Lips is, it's Young and Lips' manager. When I was younger, when I was about 20 years old, I just turned fresh 21. I come back from Europe. I was with a friend of mine who's away. And we had this conversation where he wanted to become a promoter. And then back then, no one knew what fucking promoting was. I didn't want to be a promoter. I didn't want to, hey, bro, use my discount code, get $5
Yeah.
off. Fuck that. I'm still like that. And I rent clubs.
Yeah.
But they wanted to, he's like, I want to be a promoter. But again, he's like, I'm scared that like people are going to judge me. I'm going to fail. And I'm like, bro, fuck it. Let's just do it together. And if we fail together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at least we fail, we die together.
Mm-hmm.
That's my mentality. You know, you're more likely if you're gonna go out with someone, you're more likely to go out with them than be less scared to go out with someone than to go out by yourself.
Yeah.
You know, it's like going to the movies. Not many people want to go to the movies by themselves, but they'll go with someone else.
Yeah, that's true.
So anyway, I started working so he introduced me to Low Key. I started working for Key. Now, Key is a phenomenal, Key was my mentor. I still go to him for advice and ask him questions on everything. At one stage, he probably thought I was the feds or something because I just asked questions. And then, so I started working for him in March when I was 21. And within 3 weeks, he had me managing Compass. And I took it from 90 people per week to an average of 950 people per week. And to this day, I still have people messaging me, when's Compass coming back? You know, and I did that with the sheer, again, more just from putting myself out there. The first night, I hated going to jobs. I hated starting new jobs. I didn't like, it was one of my uncomfortable things. I didn't like starting something new. And then I just threw myself in. And then, yeah, within 3 weeks, bang, and then we built it up. He mentored me, taught me everything, made me have that sort of self-belief in myself. You know, I feel like key for me was Customato with Mike Tyson. I'm not saying I'm Mike Tyson, but like that sort of mentorship, bro, broke me down, built me up, let me make my mistakes.
How rare is it to find someone like that?
It's very rare, especially when it's in business, because you know, Kay trusted me with this business, and trust me. This
is a guy you met. It's not like you were family or you'd been friends from a young age. Yeah.
A funny story is, it wasn't actually the first time I'd met him. I had my 20th birthday at his club. I think it was Rain, one of his events called Rain. And I got kicked out of the club for acting like a fuckwit, having an argument with security and everything. Like I was just a young, troubled kid, and had an argument and everything. And we still laugh at it. We still laugh at it to this day. Like I went from getting kicked out of your events to creating a successful one, you know, and running them. And if I ever go back into clubs, which I probably will, I'll only work with Kate. You know, and that's again, that comes from loyalty and the love that he showed me. You know, I love his kids like they're my kids, his family, his cousins and all that, like they're my family and cousins and stuff. It's just, man, we built a bond. Yeah. You know, and I love him, I respect him and everything that he does, and the shit that he's doing now is, mate, the next 5 years for him is going to be insane.
Crazy. How did he, we'll go more into the nightclubs a bit later, but how did he influence you? You've told me before he let you make your mistakes and then gives you advice, but what exactly did he do to have that influence on you? So
Kay was like, Kay would allow me to make my mistakes, and then instead of sort of micromanage, so Kay sort of, when we first started, he didn't know anything else because he had shit staff work for him. So he was very like, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And then one day he's like, you know what? I'm going to let you make your fuck ups by yourself. You're capable enough to handle this yourself. Go do it. Because when you micromanage someone, you're like, subconsciously you're telling them, I don't believe you can do this. Whereas if you step back and you're like, you know what, go make your mistakes, and I'm gonna dust you off when you fall over. I'm not gonna scold you. I'm gonna dust you off. If I think you can be doing better, you can do better. But think, and so what he would do every time I'd fuck up, he'd be like, all right, come to me with a solution, and let me explain to you why you can't do it like this.
Yeah.
Or every time I'd have an idea where it's like risky, I'd be like, all right, go see if you can pull it off. Go see if you can think. A lot of the times I did pull off, but the times where he fucked up, he wouldn't really scold me because he knew I wasn't trying to. I wasn't like
success is your best interest.
100%. I wasn't trying to like go left, go right. You know, I was trying to. I treated his business, and I showed countless times that I'm treating his business like it's my business, but with the respect that it's still his business.
Yeah.
A lot of workers that go into a business, they just want to get their paycheck. I didn't want my paycheck. I wanted to provide as much value as I possibly can to him. Yeah. So then maybe one day later in life, we could go into something together. Yeah. You know, whether it happened or not. But to be honest with you, I'll forever be fulfilled because I got a great, long-lasting friendship with him. You know, and that's again, that's like family to me. I was at his wedding. I was at his wedding event. Like, that's family for me. You know, I see his family like my family. And for me, that was probably one of the most, even though I broke all the records, I did everything for me, the relationship is more fulfilling than anything I achieved at Compass. Yeah. And the lessons that he taught me and how he like treated me like a little brother. And then he helped me learn how to conduct myself, how to carry myself, how to speak, how to maneuver, not to be worried about things, how to go into business deals, how to negotiate, how to provide value. You know, that's all props to him, man. That's big love.
But also props on your behalf because he would have had to trust you to allow you to do that. And
for sure,
for him to trust you, you're providing value. So let's talk a bit about how people should build these types of relationships and approach it. Like we talked about last time, whenever you are trying to build a relationship like that, you want to give more value than you're taking.
Always. Yeah. You should. Gary Vee talks about it too. I can't remember what the percentage is.
49-51.
Yeah, you should always want to give and not expect. That's the biggest thing as well. You shouldn't expect. Just give. Because one day you're going to give. Someone's going to see how much you give, and they're going to be like, I'm going to reward you for giving. And you get more fulfilled from giving than taking. Yeah. You know? If you go ask someone, anyone, if I got a new car, or if I gave away a car to someone who needed it most, what do you reckon would give a better feeling?
Giving.
And that's how you got to say it. And like, it comes with value and ideas and stuff like that. I don't hold back. If I have an idea that I know I'm not going to be able to execute it, I'll give it away for free. You know, I gave a friend an amazing. Everyone I've told their idea. They're like, why'd you give that idea away? That's an amazing. Why'd you give it away? Because if I hold on to it, it's rude. It's disrespectful to myself as well. Because if I hold on to an idea and I don't want to let it go, but even though I'm not going to execute it, I'm telling myself subconsciously that I don't believe in myself that I can create more better ideas.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And if you give, you're always going to be replenished in everything in life. The more you give, you will always be replenished. Don't listen to this social media shit where it's like, oh, you got to be careful about being a giver because takers always take. Everyone's always going to take. The whole point of giving is for someone to take. But it's how you replenish yourself. And it's how, like, you have to also make the right decisions to know that you're giving to the right people. And, you know, you will be rewarded in one way or another. And even if you're not, you know, you'll be rewarded with the feeling of everything in life is currency. You're going to get one thing. It's weird how everything in life is transactional. You know, it's the law of attraction as well. Everything in life is transactional. You can't just sit here and manifest, I want $1 million, I want $1 million, I want $1 million, and sit on your ass. It's not going to come to you. You have to go out there. Whether it's, I want $1 million, I want $1 million, and you go buy a lottery ticket, and then it comes to you. You've still gone out of your way to go buy that lottery ticket and paid for that lottery ticket. You know?
Yeah. We'll move on to just finish up on the nightclubs and Key.
Sorry, I ran.
No, I love when you rant. I love it. He's definitely very different to what we see, especially in Australia. What he's doing is crazy. He's building that empire, the music scene. He's helping these young men, young and females, make something of their life, which is something I can touch on with Young and Lips. Like, it's crazy to see how he's able to help them like make something out of their life and get to where they want to be. But definitely want to get him on the podcast one day. Lips is the man. No one understands. I want to get him on one day when I'm ready, because no one understands his story and how far he's come. It's so like, it's crazy.
No, don't worry. I seen Lips when he was J.R. Lipo, when he was on fucking when he was on Pistol Pete and Enzo's song. I just want to get my mind rover. He went to the show.
He went to school and we went to school together in Cabramatta, year 5 and 6, and it's so crazy to see people succeed in life and chase what they want. Like,
it's the best feeling.
It is.
I love seeing everyone around me do well, and here's the important bit: even if it's better than me.
Yeah.
Even if it's better than me. Because when I look at people that are doing better than me, it motivates me.
It does, bro. Whenever I have something important on, his song's on in the car.
Do you know what I mean? It might like, once you start like, you shouldn't look at people in jealousy like, oh, why do they got more, blah blah. You just waste your energy. Whereas when I look at them when they do their thing, and I went with them in Melbourne, I was with them in Melbourne for their tour, and just the work ethic and stuff like that, it motivates you. It motivates you. You know, when you got a pure heart, shit like that motivates you. You get G. You don't like, you're like, fuck, man, he's doing his thing. That motivates me. I want to go do my thing.
If he can do it, I can do it.
If he can do it, like, I believe in him. But I believe in me too. And not even that, like, I don't want to try to do better than him to compete. He just, like, looking at someone be successful, you know, if you got the right mentality, it makes you want to do better for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, because you watch him believe in himself and come from where he comes from. Even Key, if you've seen the circumstances of what Key came from as well, people free. You know,
people only see the stuff, the success they're going through now.
You know, you like to see Key where Key has come from and to be the man that he is today. People free. You know how he will dress, how he will conduct himself, to how he conducts himself today. People were free. You know. Key reminds me of, I swear to God, Key reminds me of like 50 Cent. When 50 Cent was younger, he was a gangster rapper and this and that, and what he would wear and all that, and now he wears suits and stuff. That is the same transition as Key.
Yeah, that's
you
crazy.
Know? Key took that same path. You look at how Key dresses now in comparison to what he dressed 10 years ago.
It's like what we're saying, people sitting in the stands, everyone wants to be, whether it's Key, Lips, Elon Musk now, but no one wants to be them when they're at the beginning, putting in the hours when no one knew them.
And you look, and another thing, and move on, like that's another thing Key taught me as well, to believe in people. You know, he believes, and he's a giver. He wants people to do well and better than him. You know, he doesn't care, like he wants people to do well next to him. It's never like a competition.
Everyone can eat.
He's just in competition with himself. Everyone can eat. He wants everyone in his circle to eat, not just him. I think in the 3 years that I paid, I worked for him, I paid for like 3 meals for each other. Like I tried, but stop. Like he just wants everyone around him to do good and feel good. And that's a powerful characteristic.
Yeah, we'll get into a bit more business and retail with your store. So you finished the nightclubs, you went back into the store, the eggplant farm, the adult boutique. What was it like when you first got back in there?
So I finished up with Kate on good terms. My parents were going for a divorce, and my mum said, like, my mum's like, I want to retire. And she's like, look, I want you to take over. And when I was younger, when I was like 18, 19, working in the shops, I didn't really want to work in the shops, because back then I'm like, I had that mindset of what would people say? Like I'd be out with friends and they'd be like, he sells sex toys, and like I would get shy, you know. And because I thought, oh, you know, is it like a respectable job? Like what is it? This and that. And then as I get older and I mature more, I realized, fuck, I'm like one of the only businesses in Corona that didn't go down. If anything, went up. Because everyone has sex. It's just a common thing, you know.
Was that what you had to realize to like be okay working there?
I was always okay working there, but like like I realize it's like a job, but like what made me realize is it's bigger than my ego.
Yeah.
In the sense that like I'm doing stuff now, like I'm educating and talking about things now that people don't really like talking about. And then to hear it come from someone like me who's outspoken, but like I have a voice, like I sound like I'm from the fucking area. And I talk about uncommon subjects in sort of a common way, and I relate them to, like I relate using sex toys to use like building a house. So making things more sort of relatable for the general public. And that's what I realized, like it's bigger than me. You know, this whole butt plug thing and all that, it's bigger than me, because people don't realize how important a healthy sex life is, you know. And healthy sex lives transmute into healthy relationships. Toxic sex is good, let's be real, but healthy sex lives in relationships, you know, sex lives make or break relationships. Now, if you make or break a relationship where there's children involved, then you're setting up a cycle that it's just going to end up I come from divorced homes.
Me too.
So now I don't care about what my parents' sex love, but that's the point. But what I'm trying to say is, you know, as I look more into it, as I work more into the shops, as I speak to more and more women, more and more men, you realize how important sex life is. Sex is like glue.
Yeah.
Sex is like glue in a relationship, because it's the intimacy. You just want to be intimate with each other. You want to love each other. Women want to feel wanted. You know, women want to roll. They're hornier than men. They want to roll over, and they want you to be ready to go because they want to feel wanted.
And just
they want to have sex.
When you're talking about sex, you also don't just mean, you mean intimacy and
yeah. No,
holding
it's not about
hands and,
you know, like there's a good rhythm you got there. It's not about, but like it's about intimacy. It's about effort. It's about making your partner. It's about like, how long have you been with your missus for?
4 years almost.
Okay. Do you remember the first fucking 3 months of talking to her? The honeymoon state?
Yeah.
Where you'd fucking pursue,
Yeah.
and you'd chase her like a dog on a bone, like it was nothing?
Yeah.
Okay.
She was my first kiss in year 8.
Ooh.
And I stepped on her foot.
Mate, see what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely smooth sailor over here. But now, let me ask you, do you put the same effort as you did in the first 3 months as you do now?
Be transparent.
It's a different circumstances, but do you put the same effort?
No. Not like I should.
Exactly. There you go. Not like you should. But let me tell you, if you have everything that you got going on in your life right now, the podcast, work, the child, and she re-entered your life, or she's someone new, you would put the same effort.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. It's because subconsciously I think, you know, she's there. It's all good. It's all good.
Exactly, but it's not. It's not, because you want to feel wanted as well. You know, as a man, you want to feel wanted. You want to feel needed too. So the thing is, and it was what I tell young couples that come into the store, you can't have that attitude that she's just there, because she's just there now. I'm not having, by the way, I'm not.
Yeah, no.
I'm not trying to make you go like, fuck, you're going to go home and you're like, oh shit, like I got to start reevaluating.
I know what you mean.
Pack your bags, we're going to dinner.
This will help people.
What's important is, like, what people don't realize is we get so fucking comfortable. I've done it before. We get so comfortable.
Like you don't realize what you got until it's gone.
Exactly.
Saying, yeah.
The grass, look, don't get me wrong, there's relationships that need to fucking break up. But a lot of the relationships, it's because people stop watering. They start looking over at their neighbor's thing and they're like, that looks a little bit greener than mine. Their one's greener is because they water it. The grass is only green when you water it. It's where you put the effort in.
You know, I heard that before.
The divorce rate's at 50%. That's
crazy.
1 in 2. That's
crazy.
That's 1 in 2. But you're gonna understand, I deal with women all the time, and a lot of them will emotionally check out before things, because let's say, for example, that bobblehead in your back, man. She's told you 40 times to move her. Move. You're like, yeah. Then the 41st time, she's like, you know what, I'm leaving you. We're done. And you're like, what the fuck? What the fuck did I do? What do you mean we're done? Like, wait, come back. What do you mean? She's like, but she had clocked out because after the 25th time, you hadn't listened. You're like, yeah, but you didn't change your actions.
Yeah.
You know? And it's so important in a relationship to actually communicate. I sit there and I'm like, butt plug this, butt plug that, butt plug this, butt plug that, butt plug this, butt plug that. But the biggest thing I talk about is communication. Communication and checking in with each other is so fucking important, because at the end of the day, we've got one life, and you know, marriage is the common thing, and you know, a lot of us want to get married and settle. I hate the word settle down, but like be with someone for the rest of our lives. But the thing is, it comes with work. It's not all honeymoon, but you can prolong the honeymoon if you actively work on your relationship, like you work on your body, like you work on your business, like you work on your, like all the things that you work on in life. I'm not saying that your relationship should be a chore, but you know, if you go drive a Ferrari, if you drive a Ferrari and you thrash it, you never touch up the oil, you never do anything, it's gonna fucking wear out a lot sooner than if you're constantly taking care of the oil, constantly, you know, making sure it's in shade, checking the paint job, parking it in the on the line rather than in between the lines, so no one fucking dents it.
Yeah.
And that's how you should see your relationship. That's how young people see the relationship.
And just like all those other things, if you work on that, it's going to help you. Just like working on your job is going to give you money.
Happier, man.
Yeah.
You're happier.
Yeah.
You're going to get nagged less. You're going to get nagged less. You're going to have better sex. You're going to have, like, you're just going to want to constantly rip each other's fucking clothes off instead of rip each other's heads off. Would you rather rip each other's heads off or rip each other's clothes off? I know what I will do.
Yeah. We'll go into depth with your store, but before we do, let's touch on the confidentiality. I want to go deep.
Oh, okay.
Confidentiality. Hey. How serious is it to you, and like, what are the laws around it in your industry?
To be honest with you, there's no laws around it. There's no laws around it at all because we're a general retail store. However, confidentiality is very important to me, because at the end of the day, we are in an industry that's a great area. No one wants to be outed for the things that they're into. You know, I have friends come in and I will never disclose to other friends what they buy. You know, it's completely up to them. It's not, I will see a customer in the show, I won't even say hello. They might think I'm rude, but I tell them that as well. I'm like, I don't want to, unless you come say hello to me, I'm not saying hello to you, because not because of an arrogance thing or an ego thing. I just don't want the customer to be like, oh, you know, there's 3 of them there, and I'm like, I come out, I'm like, oh my god, how's that 16-inch dildo you bought?
Yeah, or even putting him in the spot, like, how do you know that guy?
Yeah, exactly. You're putting him in a position where they have to explain the relationship. And at the end of the day, confidentiality is very important, because, you know, if you know you can trust someone, you're going to be more open with them. And that's why I'm very good at what I do, because I make people feel comfortable in the sense that they can trust me and they can talk to me and they can tell me their deepest, darkest secrets. And I'm not going to go home and tell my partner. I'm not going to go, I don't have a partner, I'm single, by the way, if you're curious on me.
Your little teddy behind you.
Yeah, I'm going to be smashing that. Then I'm not going to go tell my partner. I'm not going to go tell, you know, other people, other customers. When I talk about stories on my thing, I make it very generic and very sort of like, you can't pick who it is. There's no names, there's no times, there's no dates, there's no, you know, I just make my things very generic, so people aren't outed, so they feel comfortable shopping. The good thing that in such an open world that we live in, it's actually still kind of healthy to keep our sex life, even though I'm sitting there openly speaking about it, because that's fine, because someone needs to voice it, but it's super important to still have that little bit of privacy to yourself with some things, you know.
Yeah, I love that. Let's take us through.
Confidentiality is very important.
Take us through, like, put us in a customer's shoes that is new to the store. Just open your door, go up the stairs, right?
Yep.
What's happening? They walk up the stairs. What's the experience like? You're at the counter.
What it do, baby? Nah, it's normal. Hi guys, how are you? Firstly, vaccine passports, check in and all that. I don't really care about vaccine passports, you know what I mean? But check
whatever
in.
the laws are.
Yeah, mandates, blah, blah, blah. But and I treat customers like their family. You know, especially women that come in and they're like, there's no sleaziness at all. That's my number one thing. I don't shit where I eat.
I think people get that too with your social media.
Yeah, I'm very straightforward.
It's just normal.
I'm just a normal person. You know, I'd rather be your best friend.
I was showing my workmate the video of you taking us through how to do anal properly, and like they were giggling and stuff, but then they were like, it's just not. He's just talking normal. I'm like, yeah. That's how good he is. It's just normal.
And that's how I connect with people. You know, I make people feel comfortable. And I think we've spoken about it before, the importance of using humor and mixing humor and education. Because if you mix humor and education, one, I relay everything back to women. I love women. So I relay everything back to women. Women, you know, we underestimate the powers of women in our lives. If you can make a girl laugh, you can make a girl do anything. If you can teach a girl something, she'll remember you forever. You know, you can teach her how to make bolognese. In 50 years' time, when her ugly husband's there, she's making bolognese for him. She's going to think about, fuck, I remember when the Bill made me bolognese. He taught me this recipe for 50 years later, you know?
Yeah.
Subconsciously. So if you make people laugh and you make people, and laughter also breaks down barriers. Laughter is one of the biggest things to break down barriers. But if you make people laugh and if you make people, you know, teach people something, they're going to remember you all the time. And for me, I'm a businessman. So it's all about, like, of course I want to make money. However, I realize the more value I give, the byproduct is sales. You know, but like if I know that I've helped someone change their life, or I've changed they're going to go home and have a better sex life, or, you know, I've told this bloke that the way that his girlfriend is conducting himself is not really correct, and that like there's something fishy going on, or there's something toxic going on. I'm not going to ever tell him to break up with them. That's their choice. But like, if he asks me for advice on what he should do, and like, you know, she's been messaging other guys, what should I do? I'm going to help, you know, because that's my natural nature. I like helping people. Even when I was at the front of the club, I used to give girls, I had a girlfriend, but not in a bad way, but I used to help girls, you know, give them hugs if they're crying over boys that fucking go hook up with other girls in front of them and shit like that. And I'd sit there and give them advice. I'd sit there and talk to them about life and stuff, because that's just how I am. Yeah. You know, and making money is a byproduct. Because let's be real, no one's in business, you know. Like, I would, if I had all the money in the world, I'd probably still do this. I'd either do this, or I'd go to like Africa and hunt down poachers and shit. Or like I'd be like a vigilante and just kill I'd be a serial killer, kill pedophiles and all that. But like, I got to make money. So
hang around Maccas and hit junkies, get rid of them.
Fuck that, girl. Anyway, but like, education is a byproduct. So the more, look, I get a kick, and that's why I started Missionary and the Madam in the first place. I had no idea it would get to where it's at now. I started in the first place because I found that when I was in the store, I was giving more advice rather than actually selling, you know, and it kind of correlated. The more advice I give, it's like the more money they'd spend. But I would give them advice on things that they couldn't purchase from me, or things that like weren't in my sort of repertoire to sell.
Sometimes they come into your store without buying the product, but they leave with
and that's fine.
Value,
and that's advice. Fine, and they leave with information, and that's fine. But you know, I've talked to customers that are buying expensive products, but I'm like, it's not for you. You know, you've shopped with me before. I know what you like. That's $700 product. It's not for you. You know, go with a $300 product. Yeah. You know, and that's important, because you're also building better customer relationships. You know, and to be honest with you, they say the customer's always right. Not in my business, you know, because that butt plug is too big for you. No. Bit down. So, and that's the important thing, and that's what I train my staff on as well, the importance of providing value and knowledge, because the sales is the byproduct of that. And also you leave people better than what you found them. Yeah. And making people feel comfortable. Adult industry is known to be very sleazy, dark, dingy stores. My stores aren't like that. They're not like that. I'll never allow them to be like that. And I wouldn't work in a store like that. You know, I want women to come in to feel comfortable. I want guys to come in and feel comfortable. You know, guys come in with I get a lot of questions about, how do you handle boyfriends that come in the store? Like anything. You know, I'm very kind of like, I give them more attention, because I don't want them to feel like, oh my God, these guys are just trying to talk to my missus. No, I'm not interested in that. You know, when I sell a couple of vibrator, I tell her, it's not all about you, honey. You got to put these on his testicles. You got to make him feel good too. You know, I play the best friend role. I play the, you know, the helping hand role, not the, you know, I'm not a salesman. No, I'm an educator. And my staff, they're not sales staff, they're educators.
Is that something you train or teach them?
100%. And you know what? I had this conversation with someone the other day. I used to hate staff. Like, HR was, if you saw, all transparent, ask Kate too. Like, if you saw how I was with staff at Compass, so different to how I'm with staff now. At Compass, it's like, this is my work ethic. If you're not working like I'm working, what the fuck you doing?
Gary Vee's touched on this too, when you said you treated Compass like your business, but the family business is, your family business. So when you're in charge of that, you have this like expectation. You can't have this expectation that they feel the same way about the business as you do.
Agreed. You're more. I had this conversation yesterday with a friend of mine doing all my signage. Shout out, Get Noticed Media. But like, exactly, they're not as emotionally invested. They're not as financially invested. They're not, thing. I'm a bit of a different breed. I'm kind of old school where I treat the business like my business. So how I was at Compass, I am how I am.
And that's probably
how
why
I am
Key
in my business
loved you so much, because it's rare.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he loves me, but I'm hoping he loves me because I love him. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I treated that business like it was my business, and not in like an egotistical way, but more of a like, I want this to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
So, but how I treated staff back then sucked. I was a cunt because I was cutthroat. It was like, I have a goal. I want to get to that goal. Either get on the program, fuck off.
Yeah.
Shit attitude, And I had that kind of thing with staff when I first got back into adult. But then I realized, I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't want to come work for me. And that's where self-awareness is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wouldn't want to come work for me. What would I want to work for me? I'm a cunt.
Yeah.
Like I had to be sort of more like, I wanted my workplace people to come to work and feel how I feel when I serve customers. So, and the minute that I changed my mindset on that and my mentality on that, the minute my whole staffing changed. I love my staff. I adore my staff. I see my staff as if they're my family.
And there's nothing better than working for like a manager or a boss that you actually like.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I can be a shit manager. Like, I got no fucking. Sometimes I feel like I'm not a manager. I'm not manager material in the sense that, like, I'm better on the floor. Sometimes I operate. I know my strengths. I play to my strengths. Operations isn't really my strength. You put me in the field.
You're a people's person.
Yeah, I'm a soldier. Put me in the field. I work. But like, there's some things that aren't my strength. Operations aren't my strength. Ideas and marketing and creativity, that's my area. And you'll notice, you'll speak to people. A lot of creatives are not operational.
Mm.
I have this argument with my mum all the time. Like, I can operate, but it's going to take me a lot more effort than someone who is more operational rather than create.
You'd rather use that extra energy on something that you can push.
Well, you'd rather, it's the 80-20 rule. You'd rather double down on the 20% you're good at, or the 20% of customers who spend 80 give you 80% of the revenue.
Expand on that. What is it? 80-20.
So it's the 80-20 rule.
Yeah.
You have to focus on the 20%. So let's say, for example, you make $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
80% of that, or $80,000, comes from 20% of your customers. Customers who spend a lot more than what, you got your one-off customer here and there, which makes up for 20%. So you're better off focusing. You get more value and more thing out of your business if you focus all your energy, or majority of your energy, on that 20% that spend more in comparison to the 80%.
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you mean.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
I'll send you a link about it after. But yeah. And that
goes down to customer experience, something that you're big on.
Huge on. I think customer experience is one of the biggest things. I'm making my stores more interactive. The stores are going to become more interactive, friendlier than what they were.
What do you mean interactive?
I mean, if anyone knows Nipsey Hussle, they know that, he's got a store in America, in LA, called the Marathon. Now, in that, you know what? I'm gonna show you. I don't want to give that one away. There's a few people watching. I'm gonna give that one. I can show you.
Coming soon.
Coming soon.
Right.
Coming soon. I'm gonna keep that one. Sometimes it's better to keep things on the wraps.
All right. What can we? I've only been to maybe one or two sex stores. One in Gold Coast and one in Greece. I was in Greece, Mykonos, I think. Yeah, it was pretty sleazy. It was dark, neon lights.
Yeah,
so
you make me sick.
I got to come to now that you're open. Actually, I told you I'm gonna come. I'm gonna come get a sage.
What type of cum? What?
You're
a bad man, man.
What are the range of products there? I know you got butt plugs and vibrators, but like what else can we expect to see there? Is there costumes? Is there
everything related to sex? Everything related to sex we have. Lingerie, costumes.
You have lingerie.
Vibrators, butt plugs, lubes, cleaners, douches, whips, paddles, cuffs, ball gags, dongs, dildos, blow up dolls, hens party stuff. Anything related to, if it's got a dildo or shaped like a penis, I sell it.
What about for men? What are there for men? All those things are from men
masturbators,
too.
flashlights, pocket pussies, you know, prostate plugs, things that go in your butt that makes it vibrate, helps with prostate minimizing the risk of prostate cancer. Anything you
Yeah,
can
he's
think
saving lives.
I know, I'm a humanitarian. People don't realize when I tell them I'm a humanitarian. I don't sell vibrators. I'm a fucking
This
humanitarian.
man's stopping cancer.
I need like fucking, I need the Nobel Peace Prize or something. You know what I mean?
I'd vote for you. What's the most popular product?
Then the bill.
That one's off the market.
Shock. It depends, man. There's a whole different, like when you come into an adult store, you realize that there's different product ranges. So there's multiple different products for different types of things that you're looking for. When it comes to clitoral stimulation, the womanizers are fantastic. When it comes to anal stimulation, I love the B-Vibe brand. They're fantastic. It just depends, you know, like not one product is suited for one person. It just depends on the customer. And we break that down because we ask a lot of questions. I teach my staff they have to ask questions, but not in an evasive way. I can come off as a bit evasive because of, you know, how I am. Like I'm straightforward.
Yeah.
But like customers understand it because I tell them.
Well, you need to ask questions to find out how you're going to help them.
I had a customer, I had two ladies come in last night, you know, and they're like, oh, that's a bit of a, one of them's like, oh, that's a bit of a, because I asked them, what type of toys do you like? Are you more internal? Are you more clitoral? And she's like, that's a bit of a upfront question. I said, well, let me ask you something. What do you do for work? And I don't know, let's say she was a mechanic. I'm like, well, if I come into your auto shop, I know nothing about fucking cars. I don't know nothing about changing oils, engines, and exhaust, and fucking horsepower. It's not my area. It's a butt plug. This is my domain. When I ask something, I'm asking so I can find your answer, so I can point you closer and more pinpoint to the direction. When you drop a sniper in the middle of the battlefield, you have to give them a target. That can't just be fucking popping anyone, because they're going to do more damage than good. They're going to do more harm than good. Whereas if you put a sniper and you give them sort of like cues, or like, okay, you got to look for this, or, you know, this is what their patterns are like, so this is what the target's like. You're more likely to hit the target on the head rather than just spray and pray.
Yeah.
So when customers come in and I ask questions, I'm doing it so I can filter out what's not for them and move them more in the direction that's for them.
Because you want to help
them. There's no point selling someone a 6-7 inch dildo when they just like clitoral stimulation.
Yeah.
Seriously. I know it sounds a bit fucked up, it's not normal, but
that's
like, it's
true.
serious.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to get like, why are you going to give someone a baby seat if they don't have kids?
Yeah.
You know, or sorry, why sell someone a two-seater car when they need a baby seat?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and so it comes back to customer experience and you providing values. You're not chasing 100%. The quick buck.
No, never.
I've got a quick upfront question for you. Or I'm sure the TikTok fans want to know, what's your favorite product?
Missionary.
So you said missionary to madam. What does that mean? That's a rebranding,
missionary to
yeah?
madam. Yeah, so Madam, so how we're gonna call the stores Madam Mac when we first started.
It was Ozone.
If you don't, yeah, it was Ozone.
Is this before Ozone? You're gonna call it that?
No, this is after Ozone. If you don't know what a madam is pretty much an experienced woman that, you know, you go, like they generally work in brothels or adult establishments, and they're the older woman who knows everything there is about sex and how to conduct this very sexual, very like cool. They're like the cool auntie that, you know, tells you which condom brand to buy. So when I started Missionary to Madam was just sort of the I was constantly saying, this is where branding comes into play too. I would, because people would be like, I'd start talking about sex, and they're like, what do you know? I'm like, man, I only do missionary. I don't really know much. Like missionary this, I only do missionary. You know, I'm no freak. I don't choke. I don't spit in mouths. I don't.
I was just saying.
That was my saying. I just do missionary. Like I'll post something really fucked up, like a fucked up sex position or a fucked up sex quote on my Instagram. I'm like, I just do missionary. And then it kind of turned into,
it's stuck.
Well, the education side, I'm like, I'm educating them. I don't want to educate them to just do missionary. I want to take them from just doing missionary to having the sexual prowess of a madam. So that's where missionary to madam comes in.
I like that. So you're rebranding the store. It was Ozone, and you're going for a whole.
Stores are now going to be, rebranding, new signage, new everything. Website coming soon.
It's a shop online, that website.
Yep. Online website.
Where can I
Online
find your
store.
stores? Go Caringbah and Penrith.
Caringbah and Penrith. Shout out West Sydney, baby.
So yeah, I became aware of you through kind of low key and Young and Lips. You started a podcast. Around there, I saw your social
And
media.
I'm proud of you. I'm very
Thank you.
proud of you because you came to me when I first started and you said to me, bro, I'm looking to start, blah, blah. And you were lagging. I think I checked in on you 1 or 2 times and I told you,
Yeah,
listen,
you did.
get off the benches, get in the field, baby.
You did.
That's
you did.
that's where the fulfillment is.
You inspired me to start as well, but that's where I first became aware of you. And then you kind of, I saw a shift where you just took social media by storm and used it to grow your family business, your stores, and your brand, which is now eventuated to Missionary to Madam. What was that? Where did that shift come from?
I stopped giving a fuck. I started realizing I can't pay my bills with people's opinions. And I started realizing that everyone who is great, all your rappers, Lips, A Huncho, all your rappers, Hefs, they're always gonna cop Little Baby, Drake. They all, anyone who does one, Elon Musk, Amazon, anyone who does great comes with slack, comes with, hate, comes with negativity. But it's gonna fucking come either way. So you'd rather be doing something you love and being open and honest about it. I was speaking to Lips last night, and he said to me, and like it stuck to me. And shout out Lips. I'm not going to give the whole private conversation, but I'll just give this bit. He said to me last night, he's like, because I'm very proud of Lips. I'm very proud of Lips. To watch him where he's growing, it makes me super proud. He's like, sick cunt for not caring what anyone thinks and just doing you.
That's
and
him.
His messages.
That's his word, sick cunt.
Yeah. And the way he spelled it too, S-I-K. But things like that, you realize that all the rewards and everything that you want in life is outside your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is, I don't want to be judged. Why play small? Why play small? I mean, every guy that's probably watching this podcast has watched Coach Carter, and everyone gets G'd, and everyone, when they listen to the speech, do not be scared of, it is our light that scares us, not the darkness. Because we're so scared of being judged and fucking, oh, what if they say, what happens if I do well and my family judges me? Like I had a cousin hit me up. I'm like, maybe I'm starting to get a little bit successful because I had a cousin hit me up who I haven't spoken to in ages. And then I'm like, oh, do you reckon, have you been well? I seen you're blowing up on TikTok. I thought when these rappers talk about it and they're like, oh my God, your family's going to you're going to have cousins come out of nowhere. I thought that bullshit. And then it happened to me. One of my cousins, this family member, I'm not going to name their name, but I'd love to because it burnt me. But I don't know. They're like, oh, I see you're blowing up on TikTok. By the way, do you reckon you can promote this business? No. Because you know why? You weren't with me in the trenches.
Like I said, everyone wants to be these people now, but not before.
You weren't there, filling me up and telling me, you know what? Like my best mate, David, people would go to him like 6, 7 months ago, 8, 9 months ago, a year ago, and they're like, bro, what the fuck is with AJ? He's lost the plot. Have you seen what he's been posting? He's a spinner. He's a tripper. Same people now, they've been saying that, they follow me. And then they're like, oh, look, fuck, man, you're doing well. You have to not give a fuck. You have to have that level of self-discipline to not give a fuck what no one thinks and have that self-belief and just go for it. Just go for it. I messaged Gavin, I don't know, have you watched that show, Sydney Lux Listings?
Seen it on the Instagram.
It's this real estate show. It's about like pretty much Australia's best real estate agent. About a year before that show, about a year ago, a year and a half ago, I messaged him. I'm like, I'm just letting you know that you're gonna sell me a very expensive penthouse one day. I messaged him that. He liked it. He probably thought I was a spinner, but it's that self-belief. Everyone thinks Elon Musk's a fucking spinner. Someone messaged, my dad called me the other day. He's like, oh, this bloke said that, you know, there's guys reckon you're cocky, blah, blah. First thing I said to my dad, I said, what's that got to do with his life? And my dad's like, oh, not much. I said, that's fine. I don't take criticism from people that aren't doing anything with their life. I only take people from criticism. I only take constructive criticism from people that are doing things with their life, because they're the people I can learn from. And if it comes across as cockiness, or like people confuse cockiness with confidence. They don't realize that, like, you have to have that self. I don't think I'm better than anybody at all. I just believe in myself and my ability and what I'm willing to bring to the world and what I'm willing to give to the world. And we had this conversation off camera. You have to have that fucking self-belief in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, who the fuck's going to believe in you? Who the fuck is going to believe in you? When I used to work for Key, I used to put numbers on the board. But like this week, I'm going to have 850 people. I used to write ridiculous numbers. I'd always get the numbers. I was spot on the mark. Spot on the mark. I remember the first time I got 1,000 people in the club. He called me, I cried. Because I believed in myself. You have to believe in yourself. You can sound like a spinner. You know, I'd rather fucking lose everybody, but still stay true to myself because I believe in myself, than have 100 people around me who, you know, you're doing fuck all, you're not giving any love. Because I can guarantee you, slowly, as you get older anyway, the people drop off. But at least you still have that belief in yourself, you know? And now, like, I only keep people around me who fill up my cup and who believe in me, you know? Because but the thing is, they believe in me because I believe in myself. I believe in them because they believe in themselves. Yeah. You know, they might think I'm like fucking abrasive and a spinner sometimes, but they know that's just me. They love me for me. And when you have the right people around you as well, it makes a fucking huge difference. Yeah. It makes a significant, when you have the right people around you, it makes a significant difference.
My coach used to say, hang around shit, start to smell like shit.
100%. My mum always told me, I believe you can do anything. She was one of them mums, but like, she made me believe it. She made me believe it. Obviously, she fucking clipped me in line if I ever got any like out, but it made you believe it. And then you like, you know, people are like, oh, you shouldn't be too big. You shouldn't be. No, you should. You should. You should. The bigger I get means the more audience I get, means the more people I can fucking potentially help. I don't get a kick from getting big sales. I get a kick from copying a message saying, hey, I listened to your advice. I used it and oh my God, it fucking works. I'm in such a better, happier, healthier position. Now, if I didn't go put myself out there on social media and believe in myself, I wouldn't be getting messages like that. I wouldn't be helping people change their lives. See the end factor of believing in yourself?
This is why I fucking love you, AJ. For anyone who's listening on Spotify, Apple, whatever, get to YouTube, watch that 5 minutes ago to see the fire in your eyes, the way your eyes lit up and how you went on your rant there. Like, this is why I fuck with you. This is why I follow you.
You wanna fuck me?
Maybe one day. But this is why, you know, this is why I try to stay in contact with you, because it's the type of shit that you feed. This is the energy you feed off, and it's what inspired me to fucking start believing in myself. So,
and I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you for that.
I'm proud. Like I've told you multiple times, I'm very proud of you. You know, 20 years old, and you're putting yourself out there on a platform to, you know, my first podcast, fuck, I still get comments drilling me, but it doesn't matter about that. No. Because again, the person who's always in the arena is always going to get judged no matter what, but they're the ones who are going to die gallantly. I could die tomorrow. I'll be happy if I go. I've always said, I don't care, but death doesn't scare me. Wasting my potential scares me. Death doesn't faze me. If I go, I go. If I go, I end up being like, you know, I have my loved ones saying, I'm looking over them. So really, I'm not losing. But like sitting on this planet and not providing as much value as I can to other people and not helping them change lives, like that's what will. I don't want to get to my fucking bed at 80 years old and be like, I should have gone harder. I should have believed in myself more. I should have done it more. I'm happy to go crazy. I'm happy to look crazy to pull off what I pull off. Like, look at Kanye. 2 years ago, everyone was like, he's $50 million in debt, blah, blah. Everyone's sucking his dick now. Everyone's like, oh my God, Kanye this, Kanye that. But hold on, you're the same person that posted 2 years ago saying he's $50 million in debt. You're the same person saying AJ was a spinner because he sells butt plugs. Look at him now. Oh my God, I know him. Isn't he funny? Look, hey, you know what? He's doing his thing. I was doing my thing a year ago. Because you know why? Because when you're out in the field and you're fucking believing yourself and you're giving it everything, your skeptics turn into believers. Your skeptics turn. But Drake has the best line, one of the best lines ever. It's like, point out any skeptic, I'll make him into a believer. But the first, and I said this to you off air, and I'm gonna say it to you on air. Everyone's like, prove them all wrong, prove them all wrong. You know, go do it for your haters. You yourself are your number one hater. Once you get over the fact that, okay, I'm gonna make people believe in me. You gotta believe in you. You can't point out any skeptic, I'll make him into a believer. No, the first skeptic is yourself. The first skeptic is yourself. You have to turn yourself into a believer. Because once you start believing it, you start to see it. That's the law of attraction. Once you start believing it in your mind, it will start to come into your fruition. You'll start to see it. But you're not going to get anything you want if you don't believe in it. I set out a goal at the start of the year. I said, I'm going to do 10 podcasts. They're all going to reach out to me. I'm not going to ask nobody. I've done my 10. Randomly. From 0 podcasts last year.
From just doing your own thing.
From 10. Because I provided value.
As a guest,
the minute I started realizing the more value you provide, the more you get. If you give value, people want to be around people that give value. That's like how I was telling you.
Where'd you learn this?
Pardon?
Where'd you learn this?
Failure, defeat, realizations, books. Realizing, you know, that's just how it is. That's how life goes. They tell you this all the time, but sometimes you got to go through experiences. You got to go through depression. I had depression bad. You know, I had a point in my life about a year ago. I had a point in my life, I'm not going to fucking be here. I didn't want to kill myself, but I didn't want to be here. I was like, I just want to restart. Maybe I can restart, get it all started. Then I'm like, you know what? And that's where I had my level of, I don't give a fuck, because I reached my lowest. I was doing 80, 90 hour weeks. I reached my lowest low. Only close people around. I don't want to be the person. I don't want to be the mental health advocate. It's not me. I don't want to be it. But men go through it. We go through it. I was in the trenches. I was in the trenches, and I was lucky I had my mum. I was like, but I was in the trenches fighting demons hard. I was in the deepest, darkest of holes. And then I decided that, this ain't gonna work. This whole.
I don't want this for my life.
Yeah, this whole my this, my that, no, unacceptable. And then I realized that because I beat the battle inside, nothing else outside, nothing doesn't. I couldn't give a fuck what someone says, because I judged all the negative, I said the worst of the worst things to myself. I said the worst of the worst. So
nothing they say can affect you anymore.
Nah, bro. Because they're fighting their own battles. They've got their own fucking demons going on. They've got their own shit going on. But look, I'm just happy because I'm transparent about it, because I've been to the darkest of holes. That's why I'll post something here and there about mental health and all that. And you know, when people are like, oh, it's not weak to speak. No one wants to speak about it. And that's fine. Just don't give up the good fight.
Yeah.
Don't give up the good fight, because we've all been there. People look at me like, oh my God, he's so happy, he's chirpy, he's butt plug this, butt plug that. But I was on they wanted to put me on pills because I was that depressed. I didn't want to get up. I forced myself to get up. And my mum did, and my mum's partner, and my dad, they lifted me. While I was putting like a happy front on social media. This thing about social media, people put on happy fronts. But I never wanted to use that as a way to sort of, you know, get like gain traction, or like, oh, you know, like poor me. I'm not a poor me guy. I don't want to be a poor me guy. That's not me. But I want to be like how you said. I want people to look at me and be like, fuck, bro, I gave it a crap because of you. I saw you didn't give a fuck, and you're talking about more like controversial things than what I'm talking about. So I thought, I'm going to give it a crap. That's how I want people to see me. That's how I want people to think. You know, it sounds so egotistical, which it probably is, but it's not. But I've always said all my life, I want people I want to reach my funeral, and I want a whole bunch of fucking random people that my family doesn't know, and they're like, who's this? Who's like, who the fuck is this guy? And then that person come up and be like, you know what? One day your dad randomly gave me a lift. It was pouring rain, and he was the only car that.
He doesn't even know me, but he did that.
They don't even fucking know me. I don't need to know people to help me. I don't want nothing. My mother has taught me, give without expecting. Give without expecting and receive without forgetting. And that's why. So if you are going through mental health, if you are like, you got demons and shit, bro, you're the only one that's going to beat that. I refuse to take pills. I didn't take no fucking pills. I needed them. The doctor diagnosed me, everything. I was diagnosed with clinical depression, everything. Doctors, name it, diagnosed everything. But I believed in I told myself that I'm going to get myself out of the fucking hole. I had bad days, but I forced myself.
It's all in here.
It's all in the fucking head. Everything is in your head. That's why people like no, I'm not. I've just been to the depths of despair in my own mind. I've been to hell.
You know your value.
I went to hell.
You know what you're worth.
I went to hell, bro. I was ready to go. I'm like, fuck this. I was ready to go. Your mind takes you to the darkest fucking places. Your mind takes you to the darkest, and this is the first time I've ever spoken about it, but your mind takes you to the darkest hole. But it's up to you to get yourself out of it, because there's always light at the end of the tunnel. And you'll be surprised because you come out of it with this confidence and this swagger. Because if you like, your greatest enemy is yourself. And once you beat that enemy, the enemy outside can't fucking touch you, because you always find a way through a problem. Tell my little brother all the time, the problem is always going to fucking be there. The problem is always going to be there. You can be upset, you can be pissed off, you can be angry, you can be fuck this, walk away. But when you walk back, that problem is going to be there. You have to sort your problems out. You have to go and you have to sort the problems out. Don't procrastinate. Get it done. Get it out the way. I posted this thing the other day. You are disrespectful. By procrastinating and being lazy, you're being disrespectful to the people that believe in you. By not giving it your all, you are being disrespectful to the people that believe in you.
I did say that. I actually really like that one.
You got a wife, you got a wife and you got a kid. But you fucking around, you're being disrespectful to them.
That's what I thought when I saw that too. To my daughter, if I like I said before, I listened to that Patrick David thing, and I saw that quote and I thought, I've got this free time when my daughter's at childcare, my missus is at work, I've got a couple hours before work. Me sitting on the couch watching TikTok, watching a show is being disrespectful to them, because at the same time, I'll get home from work and my daughter's there and I'll be like, oh, I got to do this podcast. I got to edit this podcast, where I should be spending that quality time there. It's disrespectful, like you said. But let's work backwards a bit with chasing dreams and getting over that. How does someone start? Is it as simple as like start writing out goals, bro. Start a routine?
Just start. Just work out whatever the first thing you got to do, even if it's one fucking step, just start. Just start. Don't even write goals yet. Don't even write goals. Write your goals when you get momentum. Because what happens is you write goals and you go procrastinate. Yeah. Just start. Just start. Work out what you want to fucking do and work out even the smallest tasks that you can do to get it started, and then let it steamroll, let it snowball. Just start. And then what happens is you're going to get confidence and swagger and bravado to start doing bigger. And don't see roadblocks. Here's the biggest one. Don't see roadblocks. Don't look at them as a roadblock. Look at them as, okay, where can I build a door here? Where can I work it out? Where can I build a relationship that maybe I don't got the key to that door, I can't really kick it open. Maybe I can build a relationship that's got a key to that door to open it. Every problem in humanity has always been fucking solved. It's whether you're fucking willing enough and you can believe in yourself enough to solve it. I had a big thing like a week ago that could have fucked my whole business if I didn't handle it correctly in the way of how I looked at the problem. And I'm like, 2 years ago, I would have been like, But I sat down. I'm like, okay, I just literally a week before that told my brother that he can't walk away from a problem. He has to talk. He has to work through the problem. So I sat down. I'm like, you know what? This is all going to work out because everything else I've been through in my life, I came from the depths of despair. I came from fucking, you know, the darkest, deepest hole mentally. So if I can get through that, this is fuck all. You know, I got this. I got this. Boom. Within a day, I sorted it out. No sweat. And that's because it's the way you look at a problem. Your thing, when we talk about off air, I told you, you can look at it like this, or you can go about it like this. And now it's all up to you whether you're going to do it. And even if I get on there before, I'm going to make sure you get there. Because I'm telling you now, that's on my list too. I've always said I want to go on that thing. Not do what you're doing, but I've always said I want to go on that podcast. And I'm gonna get there. And if we get there first, one of us is taking each other. And we don't have an option. I was thinking about it the other day when I was having a wine. I'm like, you know what? If he doesn't fucking get himself there, when I get there, because I plan on getting there, and I plan on going on there, and I plan on building that relationship, I'm gonna fucking take him with me.
That's why I love you.
And that's the importance of creating value. Because I create value, my opinion is actually respected by people who also provide value. And that's what I'm telling you. Once you create value, once you bring value to the table, people will respect you more and realize this person brings value. So I'm going to listen to him because he brings value. If you don't bring value, no one's going to fucking listen to you. No one's going to want to eat anything if you're not bringing anything to the fucking table.
That's right. You got to go soon?
I got to run. And it's 11:11. So what a way to finish.
What the fuck? That's trippy.
Nabil,
thank you so much.
I'm proud of you. We'll do a part 2 whenever you fucking want. I'm ready to go, baby.
We'll do a quick one soon to talk about your OnlyFans and all that.
I love a quickie.
All right. Thanks, AJ.
Peace and love, baby.
I'll talk to you soon.
Peace and love.